morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Town of Portland School District podcast. We are in the Town Tech Educational Podcast Studio at Portland High School, and Dr. Charles Britton is with us on the phone as he's down covering at Gildersleeve. So, good morning, Charles. How are you? Welcome to this is going to be episode number 25. So, give us the update on what's happening in the Town of Portland School District.
Thanks. I appreciate being able to call, and it's the first time I haven't been with you in the studio there. I'm down here at Gildersleeve. Our principal's out today, so when our principals are out, I like to cover the buildings for them.
Sure.
Otherwise, keep an eye on things, make sure everybody's safe and doing well, and
Yeah.
it also gives me a chance to be in the buildings and see the amazing things that are happening. And I got really lucky today. Right? Today is Friday, October 28th.
Yes.
And, Halloween's coming up, so it was great being out there at the buses, seeing all of the faculty and students coming in dressed in their costumes. I get to be here today for the big Gildersleeve Halloween parade. So
Yes.
What a great way to round out the week.
Nice. Well, we have our Halloween on Main Street happening tonight down in downtown Portland. So all you kids come on down. All the businesses are going to be participating in that. It's going to be starting at 4 o'clock and going till 7 o'clock tonight. So have the parents bring the kids down and go up and down Main Street with all the businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's great. It's a fun time of year. We're a little bit past peak, and the weather's crisp, and football games on the weekend, and raking leaves. It's a wonderful time to live in New England.
Absolutely. Yes. So tell us what is happening. It's good that we have the technology here that you can call in, so we can get it all covered. So which is good.
Great. Yeah. No, things are going really well. Dave, we're through the first couple of months of school. First quarter ended, and by all accounts, we're hitting our stride. And in education, there's always certain circadian rhythms to the year, and some of the best learning in education happens during the month of October and the month of March.
Mm-hmm.
Those are often very long and intensive months, but we don't have a lot of days off in them, so
right.
Teachers can really get into some of the real crux of the curriculum.
Yep.
And I'm seeing a lot of that. Our teaching and learning is we are deep into it, heading into the end of October here, and I just can't tell you how impressed I am with the quality of the work that I see our teachers do and our students doing every day. It's terrific.
That's great. So, what are some of the highlights that we got going on here? I know we had some HVAC funding that you're going to be taking care of some HVAC issues and.
Yeah. So let me give you a little update on some of the facilities work that we're plugging away at. I got sort of three things I want to talk a little bit about, just for people who are tuned into. Our infrastructure here. We have no lack of projects that are needed in our building.
Sure.
The big one, of course, is our track.
Yes.
I have wonderful news on that. I met with our architects, and we reviewed the work that they're doing. And the architects are out there, as a matter of fact, this week, taking core samples. Like they're drilling down into the track and
Mm-hmm.
going 6 to 8 feet down to assess what the foundation looks like and what we need to do when we replace the track to make sure it'll be there and steady and in good shape for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
So the architects are there. It's a firm called SLR. I met with their engineers. We walked the track, and they clearly see the need to replace it. They said, the architect said it was one of the worst conditions of a track he's ever seen, which anybody who's kind of walked on that track understands. It's cracking.
I do it every morning.
Yeah, right. So right?
Yes, I do.
It's not in good shape, so we're underway.
Well, the track, giving it its due, it's well over. It's more than 25 years old.
That's correct. So the good news is the architects are going to do all of the structural analysis they need to do, design for us all of the engineering work that needs to be done, and then help us put out bids to the companies that come in and do tracks, and they'll help us interview those companies and make sure that those companies are aware of the scope of the project.
Yep.
We expect that will happen in the winter, and we're really hopeful, Dave, that we'll have a contractor lined up to start the demo work as potentially late spring, summer, and we may even have that done and see the foundation and then the rubberized surface that goes in and all the lining and painting that goes on top of it. I'm cautiously optimistic that by this time next year we may be done. So we've got the funding, we've got the professionals doing it, and I'm really hopeful that when you're walking the track this time next year, it will be a beautiful new surface.
Great. Well, I'm sure the all the athletic teams will be happy about that too, as well as the track teams, because we've been holding all of our track meets away, since since this has been an issue.
Yep. No, it's going to be great for obviously our athletic program. Our physical educators are going to enjoy using it with their PE classes, and then it's a community treasure. It's a community resource. People are up there all the time walking on that track.
There are, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Great.
The second big thing in terms of facilities, people may be aware that in the last legislative session, the legislators passed and the governor signed a bill that allocated statewide $150 million that schools are encouraged to apply for to upgrade heating, venting, and air conditioning systems in schools. Mm-hmm. And all 5 of our schools need a lot of HVAC work. Mm-hmm. Right? The only school in the district that has air conditioning in it is the secondary complex.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that system was not, frankly, I'll just call it what it is, was not designed really well, and the air conditioning has no dehumidification in it. So what it does is it pumps out really cold, wet air.
Yep.
And it's just not good. It creates mildewy surfaces and is uncomfortable.
Right. And
what we have to do is literally we purchase and rent industrial-sized dehumidifiers and run them all summer when the AC's on to keep the air as dry as we can.
Sure.
And that's a Band-Aid. That's not really what you're supposed to do.
No, not at all.
An engineered system, right? That's a Band-Aid that we
sure.
do. And then, of course, Valley View, Gildersleeve, and Brownstone in particular have no air conditioning or really meaningful air circulation beyond an open window, right?
Right.
So all of our schools are in really rough shape, and frankly, all of our schools need many millions of dollars worth of upgrades to HVAC systems.
Mm-hmm.
So we've worked with our contractors and are going to go after some of this grant funding, and we are prioritizing the HVAC system at the secondary school first. And the reason for that is because we know that building's not going anywhere and
right.
not going to be subject to any major renovations in the near future, whereas the others may be.
Yeah.
So that makes the most sense that we wouldn't be, quote unquote, wasting money if we put it there.
Right.
It's very expensive. Everything in life these days feels very expensive. But, this grant may give us the opportunity to start doing some of that work.
Right.
Of course, it's a competitive grant, and I can't guarantee that we get it, but I hope everybody wishes me luck, and I will apply my grant writing skills to the maximum, and we'll do our best as long as we enjoy the support of the town and the Board of Education to see if we can get some of this work done.
Sure. Now, we also have, is it the second round of ARPA money coming due as well?
Okay, so ARPA money is town. The schools are receiving what's called ESSER money.
Oh, okay.
Right? And certainly, without question, as we conceptualize this, I see a real important opportunity to use some of our ESSER money to subsidize the cost for some of these upgrades, as one of the reasons that we can use that funding coming out of the pandemic is certainly to improve indoor air quality.
Sure.
And this would fit right in with that.
And that's an approved use for it, sure.
100%, yep. Then beyond that, the last thing I'll mention is that the work of our facilities committee is underway, and we are going to be designing a 5 to 10 year plan for our district. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I've got to be realistic with the community and say, hey, look, our Valley View, Gildersleeve, and Brownstone Elementary School are getting the job done for us now, but if we don't make some infrastructure improvements in those buildings, I'm going to give us, and I'll be optimistic here, 5 to 10 years if we did nothing, and then those schools are going to look like our track, right? I mean, it's been since the 90s,
sure,
since significant investments have been made in these buildings, and they're showing their age. Anybody who doesn't believe me, reach out to me. I'll give you a tour. I'll just walk you around, and you don't have to be a building inspector to see. Yeah, the buildings are old and need some attention, right?
Yeah.
But look at our boilers and air handling units and roofs and parking lots and the condition of the facilities, and I think it's pretty apparent.
Sure. Well, it's just like an old car. After a while, it starts nickel and diming you to death, and it's just not worth it after a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, so we're okay now. Our kids are safe and they're learning well, but we would not be wise if we weren't looking ahead, right? So, I'm hopeful, Dave, that sometime in the January-February timeframe, I'll have some proposals to share with folks that will include recommendations and how much it will cost and the time frame we could do these things, and otherwise articulate a hopeful vision for the district that will lead to some improvements.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, certainly that's something that we have to look at. Obviously, especially Gildersleeve and Valley View School are dated, and again, the cost of keeping the upkeep and keeping the buildings open, certainly that's has to play into the equation as well.
Absolutely, and anybody who owns a house understands that, right? If you buy a house and don't do anything for 30 years, it's not gonna be that comfortable or even livable, right? So,
sure.
That's the way, things fall apart.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Are you still there? All righty. I think Dr. Britton has pressed the wrong button. We're here at the Town Tech. Are you there?
I'm sorry, Dave. My phone. I'm on my cell phone here, and for some reason it just dropped your call.
Oh, okay. I'm listening to dead air. It says okay.
Yeah,
no worries.
No worries. So that's where we're at. We're working hard towards that, and we'll have some ideas to share in the very near future.
Great. Super. Exactly. All right. So now getting down. Obviously, we're going to be coming in. Approaching Thanksgiving and so forth. I know the football team is doing well. The Cromwell Portland football team. I think they're undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
All of our fall sports teams are doing great. I'm so proud of the kids. They're out there working hard every day. Our cross-country, soccer teams, football team, our swimmers, everybody. These kids work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, it impresses me every day to see our kids, get up early, go to school all day, go to their after-school activities, get home, try to get some dinner in them and get some homework done and rest. But, I'm always impressed with our student athletes and all of our kids. They work really hard and they're doing great. Super proud of them.
Nice. All right. Excellent. Anything else we need to cover?
No, I think that's it. I hope everybody has a great Halloween. Hopefully we'll get in one more podcast before.
Yes.
If not Thanksgiving, definitely the winter break.
Yep.
And stay safe, everyone. We're doing really well here in Portland. Your kids are great, and everything is in good shape.
Fantastic. All right. Dr. Charles Britton is with us on the phone for our episode 25 of the Portland School District Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Kuzminski. And in the meantime, have yourself a safe and happy Halloween, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Thanks so much, and thanks for listening.